Are you ready for the second session? It's time to start. So next session is titled Monitoring User Experience of Flutter Apps with SLI, SLO. And it will be presented by Takuma Osada. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I will start my session with title Monitoring User Experience of Flutter Apps with SLI, SLO. Yeah, my name is Takuma Osada. I'm working on a win ticket and working as a lead mobile app engineer. So first of all, my session is too many texts here. So I also published the slide with Japanese. So if you are familiar with Japanese more, you can load the QR to the slide. Okay, looks good. Yeah, from now on, I'm gonna start my session. Today's goal to understand the SLI, SLO of user experience, and because of that, I hope it expands the world of monitoring Flutter apps. This session does not show any Flutter or Dart code. However, quality control or monitoring is one of the most exciting aspects in developing Flutter apps. So I hope you will enjoy it with understanding it. So here is my agenda. I will start this session with what is user experience SLI, SLO is, and then why this was needed for me, and in the next, how to create, and finally, I will share my impressions from actual operation. So actually in my session, there will be two types of SLI, SLO. And I will call it as a general SLI, SLO and user experience SLI, SLO. So let's start with, so have you ever heard of word SLI, SLO? Please raise your hand if you know it. Okay. And next, who knows what is the SLI, SLO is? Okay, looks good. So I'm gonna explain it. So SLI stands for Service Level Indicator. This is measurable indicators of user satisfaction quantitatively. Response time, error rate, and downtimes are examples. And next, SLO stands for Service Level Objectives. This is a goal to achieve with SLI. I think it is easy to explain in words, but it's difficult to understand. So let's think with familiar example to Flutter developers. Consider with crash-free user rate as example. Crash-free user rate is percentage of users not experiencing crashes. Adopting SLI, SLO with crash-free user rate would be like this. SLI is crash-free user rate. And SLO is maintain 99% on a 20-hour basis. And target values can be adjusted depending on how far the team or business want to maintain them. So there are many measurements in mobile apps, not only crash-free user rate, but app launch time, error rate, and etc. So what should be measured as SLI? CUJ could be an evacuation standard. CUJ stands for Critical User Journey. User journey is a series of tasks that user perform to achieve a goal. Because CUJ is critical, CUJ is for only very important goals. In EC services, there are many features. Authorization, make items as a favorite, buy as a gift, etc. But only find product and add item to cart, complete purchase are the likely to be listed as a CUJ. Just notice that SLOs to focus on improving the user experience. it should be user-centered actions. From now on, I will talk about the difference between general SLI, SLO, and user experience SLI, SLO. User experience SLI, SLO is the original word for this session, not common word in SLE words. So when I look up into SLI, SLO, all I found that each SLI was measured as a unit of API requests. I'm not clear why, but I guess it's because SLE domain is technology born from backend and infrastructure. And also, measurement is regardless of the platform which user used. So from now on, I will talk about what is user experience SLI SLO is. In one sentence, I would say measuring a series of function flows from start to the end. I will explain with WinTicket, which is I developed as a work. Let's see with SMS login feature flow. SMS login flows start by tapping button in top page and then enter phone number and enter verification code. And if the code is correct, you will see snack bar with success and navigate to homepage. As I said, user experience SLI SLO measures series of functions from start to the end. It starts measurement from the button tap action and end with snack bar shows. If any error occurred, measurement end at this point and send as an error transaction. If not only errors, but there will be back navigation or app kill and any crash happens. If user swipe back, measurement end at this point and send as cancel transaction. And if app kills or crash happens, send as an interruption transaction data. There are two advantages for user experience SLI SLO. First, this makes possible to measure cancellations and interruptions. Second, if using Flutter, measuring code would be applied to both iOS and Android or any other platforms. There are two disadvantages as well. First, as the measurement range increases, the complexity increases as well. Second, noise data will happen by users. This is a summary of this section. I just talked about the difference between general SLI SLO and user experience SLI SLO. After that, I will talk about the difference between these two. In this section, I'm going to talk about why user experience SLI SLO was needed in my team. The answer of my team need user experience SLI SLO is system availability. System availability is a rate of system was working or stopping by any reasons. Reason could be system trouble or any maintenance. The word MTTR, MTBF often comes after this. Please be careful. The MTTR is mean time to repair, and it stands for average stop with trouble count. MTTBF means mean time between failures, and it stands for average of working hours with trouble count. WinTicket was not so good with system availability. Change failure was 7.5%, and MTTR was 4 days. As a result, system availability is 96.8%. So my team made a goal for 2023 as a change failure rate for 5%, MTTR for 3 days, and the result, system availability for 98.4%. To achieve the goal, there are two solutions. Reduce the failure rate. Detecting the problem before release will decrease the failure count. And one is lower MTTR, which is mean time to repair. Detect defect as early as possible so that MTTR will be low. Because this session is for SLI SLO, I'm going to talk about the first one only. Actually, there is a video on YouTube about this. I talk about the strategy of end-to-end testing. I spoke it in Japanese, but if you're interested, please check. So let's focus on improving MTTR. These are the following ways our team detect defect. Get an error, crash, ANR from error tracking tool, inquiry from users, message from coworkers, ego search on SNS. Look at properties with each ways. Error tracking tool is fast for detection speed. However, detection area is known unknown. The others can detect unknown as well, but detection speed is not fast enough. In addition, detailed information is uncertain. I think user experience SLI SLO could be a way out of this problem. Here is the actual result of failures that were not detected by user error tracking tool, loading live video, web view problem in Android 14, credit card charge error, freeze occurred when user using features. User experience SLI SLO cannot detect everything, but could detect some of these. Look at the table as I mentioned earlier. User experience SLI SLO is of course fast to detect, and this detects the unknown. Also, escalation is available by alert function, which I will talk this later. User experience SLI SLO has two approaches to reduce MTTR. One is to create alert. This reduced MTTD, which is mean time to detect. Also, create alert focus on the latest version could detect release-related defects. Second is high observability. Provide more information to each transaction will reduce the MTTI, which is mean time to survey, and this makes analysis easier and more accurate. In this section, why we made the user experience SLI SLO. In the next section, let's take a look how user experience SLI SLO is made. Yeah, in this section, I will start talking from inputting knowledge. Because me nor my team were not familiar with SLI SLO, I had a circle reading session with my team at first. This was a good opportunity to gain knowledge, but not only that, we could communicate like the thing in the book okay, or is the in the book good? The book connects the team with communication. After inputting knowledge, let's think what to measure. By selecting what to measure, define CUJ is necessary. And when check it, there are many features. We review the CUJ with business team to prioritize. Since the purpose of the service is to enjoy gambling, we choose the following features. Still, there are 41 SLI to be measured. After selecting the feature to measure, you need to select the tool to measure with. There are many tools like Sentry, Datadog, New Relic, BigQuery, and etc. My team select the tool called Sentry. Why Sentry? One is our team already used the Sentry for error tracking. Because of that, we are familiar with. And second, error tracking is SLI SLO measurement will be managed as one tool. Last, the SDK development is very active and highly maintained. Once the measurement tool is determined, let's start embedding measurements. To become measurement get into actual operations, there are many tips for embedding. Less complicated way to measure interruptions, sampling late with cost cuts. By embedding UI, I use async map in the background to measure and so on. But sorry, today, because of the time, I will only introduce the first one. Let's look into a mechanism to measure interruption in a less complicated way. Here again, I use SMS logging flow to explain. Again, start measurement when tap button top, and end measurement with success. And measure an error transaction when error occurred, and if crash happens or application killed by users, measurement as interruption transaction. So how should interruption be measured? There was a problem with Flutter that Flutter lifecycle does not detect app kill. Of course, if you write native code, it works, but it's not easy though. So in addition, even if it could be detected, there is no guarantee that logs transmission process is working properly in the event of crash due to a screen freeze or memory leaks. So again, how should interruption be measured? I use the local databases to measure interruptions. Let's look with success patterns. When I measure the start, save the measurement data as well. When measurements end success, the data in local database will be deleted. And when error occurred, I also delete the local data as well. Same thing happens in cancel as well. So now let's look with app crash or app kill happens. Same here, save when measurement starts, and app crash or app kill happens. I won't do anything with a local database. And when user relaunch the app, there's still data available in local database. So when app launches and data available, it measures transaction as interruptions. Still, measuring with local database has point of concerns. Transaction is not sent for users who leave the app without relaunching app again, and using local databases is needed. If your app is not using any shared preference or secure preference, you can use them instead. For relaunching the app, it's not necessary to measure all user data as long as the failure can be detected. Priority was given to guarantee transmissions of transactions. For using local data, shared preference and secure preference are single table database. So it may occur the conflict, so I use the local database. So let's go to next chapter, creating alerts. There are two main types of alert used in SLI SLO: error budget alert and burn late alert. Error budget alert. Error budget alert are based on threshold and notify when a certain percentage of a SLO's error budget has been consumed. What is error budget? Error budget is a measure how much loss of service reliability is accessible. This is a screenshot of error budget alert we are using. There are SLI SLO function name and the threshold for each warning and criticals alerts. Actually, this is not a Sentry alert function. I just created it on my own based on Sentry measurement data. Next, burn late alert. This notifies the consumption rate for an error budget exceed a specified threshold and continues for a specified period of time. For example, for the SLO for the 7 days target, an alert could be set up if a burn rate of 16.8 hardware is measured in the past hour over the past 5 minutes. Actually, you don't have to understand the mechanism right now. If you're interested, please read the doc below. Burn rate alert can make you aware of many defects immediately. However, the following problem exists in user experience SLI SLO. One is user-induced error and cancellation are highly variable. Second, a single user behavior has a large impact on alert at time when sessions are low, such as late at night or in the morning. For user-induced error and cancellations, adjusting error budgets to account for upwarding burn is the way. Second, when the sessions are low, I add the rule to the alert. I add the minimum number row. This is a screenshot of Burnley alert. There is a SLI SLO function name, and this alert notifies when both two rules are satisfied. One is error budget rate is exceeded in each critical and warning threshold. And the other is minimum count of transactions. Also, this notifies you when you resolved or I made the cancellation or interruption alert as well. Next, let's talk about achieving a high level of observability. After detecting an alert, assess the situation, including whether it falls positive or not. In my product, these are the data that we are adding. User device name, OS version, device performance, etc. After creating the whole SLI SLO function, let's embed with business. Service quality is very important for entire business. So I want the business team to know that engineers are working on a quality. Can we use the SLI SLO mechanism to address quality more across the entire business? I created the dashboard function to embed. Objective is anyone can see defect at any time, and dashboard makes it possible to start from here to understand the status of failure. This is the screenshot. Sorry, this is in Japanese, so I'm going to explain it. And there is a group of features, and each SMS and Google, etc. are listed. And there are target value representing normally per function, and there are success rate for each of functions by time, like hour, 4 hours, 24 hours, 7 days. And if you collapse each SLI, the graph will be shown. Green shows the success, gray shows the cancellation, red shows the error. This bar shows the count of each 10 minutes, how many number of transactions are there. In this screenshot, you can find out that there are some of error and cancellation. However, you can easily understand that this feature is totally working fine with green area. And if the graph will be like this, failure is likely to happen at this time. And also, if the graph will be like this, failure likely occurring in user who meets certain conditions. This feature provides following things: gain a complete picture of problem and increase the initial speed to resolution. Also provide a source of information for double-checking failures. Confirm resolution of failures as well. I also made a rule which does not provide. Dashboard does not do the thing, can even completely eliminate obstacles, and only trust this information 100% to make business decisions. And it does not provide detailed data per user or versions. After I introduced the dashboard, this screenshot of Slack from my team and business members. This is just a part of whole message. You can see that dashboard are established as an instant tool in my business. In the last section, I will talk about impression from actual operations. So how much was MTTR improved? There are two types of failure exist: decreasing by internal code and failure or maintenance of external services, like Firebase and payment and bank services. So there are no decreasing yet after February, so sorry that I could not share the results. For external services, it actually shortened the time to confirm the scope of impact. Also, it allows us to identify events that has previously gone unnoticed. Impressions. SLI SLO requires a great deal of specialized knowledge, and there are many errors that I have omitted from my explanation due to time constraints. There are still many things that I don't understand about SLI SLO, and I will continue to learn more. If you are interested, I will be happy to talk with you later. And one more thing, I just created a sample repository to measure the transactions for each success, cancel, and interruptions, so on. So if you are interested, please visit. Yeah, this is all for my session. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for insightful session. So we're gonna have a Q&A session for 5 minutes or so. So please raise your hand if you have any questions. And staff member will bring your microphone.
Hello. Let me confirm. Do you measure error rate in production environment, not a staging environment?
I also measured in development, also in productions as well.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for the talk. I was wondering, when in production, is there any overhead for the user?
Sorry, can I?
When in production, is there any overhead for the user?
Overhead,
performance overhead or like time or something?
Actually, I can calculate the time, but the time is too noisy data, so I just calculate as a status, like success, error, cancel, or interruptions.
Okay.
Let's talk in that.
Yeah,
yes.
thank you.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thank you for the talk. Are you just measuring the login, or have you already implemented some more features where you measure the...
Actually, in my app WinTicket, we measured every login features, charging features, and verification features, and like transfer features, and there's like 40 or more SLI to be measured in production.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the impressive session. My question is that you said that you implemented dashboard to visualize all the errors and SLO, SLI functions. And my question is that how did you implement that? You're using some web dashboard too, or just build them from the scratch?
There was a dashboard made with TypeScript in my product already, so I add the features to show them.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay. So thank you very much for the insightful session and Q&A. So please give a big round of applause to him again. Thank you. So now we have a lunch break. So take a lunch box to the aisle following the staff instructions, and we will see at 1:30 again here. Thank you. And the Ask the Speaker corner is available from now.